All right. So, Kelvin Gastelum, I reach out to you on Saturday to book an interview. You're fighting Nassourdine Imavov. By Monday, you don't have a fight anymore. You're off the card. By Tuesday, you're now facing Dricus Du Plessis. I mean, it's Wednesday. I told you we don't have to do this interview, bro. I know you got a lot going on. You said, no, I'm going to do the interview. So, dude, what kind of a crazy week has this been like for you, man?
Yeah, man, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster, and nah, man. Every time we get a chance to talk, it's very cool. Always a pleasure to talk to you, John. And so I was like, let's get it done. Let's get it done, no matter what. Um, but yeah, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. First the fight was off, is what I was thought, and then we settled on rescheduling for May 7th in Phoenix. And so that's what I thought was going to happen. And I was like, all right, well, at least it's a plus. I'm in Arizona for the first time in my UFC career. I'm fighting in Arizona. So that's a plus. Um, but then I was just kind of sitting back and after a training session, I was like, man, I put in so much effort, so much time. I moved out here to Arizona for this, and like I don't want to let it go to waste, And so I was talking to Ali, my manager, and he's like, "Well, let's run some names, see who pops up." And some of these names were already available or already unavailable. They already got booked up. Um, and so we were hoping that Dricus, excuse me if I mispronounce his name, Dricus, um, was kind of our last shot. It's like hopefully he's the one that accepts it. We're still on the card, if so. And sure enough, he did accept.
That's awesome, man. What a crazy stream event. So I guess let me ask you first. I mean, this was not an injury, right? This was not COVID. This was a visa issue. So did you ever know along the way, like, hey, just FYI, there might be a chance that we can't get this guy into the country? Was that ever brought up to you?
It ran through my mind just quickly, like visa stuff going on around the world. Meh, we'll see. It ran through my mind quickly and left. But no, man, I didn't think it was actually gonna happen like this. I was pretty devastated. But hey, man, we've been through this before.
That's awesome. So what was it? So I mean, you're scheduled for May 7th, which, like you said, I think would be great, right? You fighting in Arizona, you're right there, it'd be awesome. But you said just something crossed your mind, like, no, I can't waste this training camp. I guess what was that? What was that feeling that you couldn't let the work go to waste? Was that it? Was this was just such an amazing training camp?
Yeah, I think so. This was an amazing training camp. Put in a lot of effort, a lot of thought. Not just me, but like a group of people behind me. We all collectively put in a lot of effort and work into this camp. So, man, I wasn't gonna let it go to waste.
There wasn't any part of you that was like, I mean, I could just go get like a burrito right now, or we could go crush some food, like enjoy it and just
Don't
pull
lie, I
out.
was thinking I'm about to go get me a big steak tonight, and see what happens. But then I also started having those thoughts, and I'm like, all right, let's hold on, relax. And then I went to go train again. And then I talked to my manager, and those thoughts kind of started kicking in. And I was like, all right, let's hold on off on the steak dinner for now
That's awesome. All
until
right, so
I'm sure that I'm not fighting, because those thoughts about getting a leg replacement, then we started talking, and then it started getting more real. And I was like, all
that's awesome. So talk to me
right.
about Dricus. I mean, Dricus obviously has not been in the UFC for very long. He made some impact on the on the international stage, but I mean, you're in the UFC at the time, so I mean, are you familiar with him at all? Had you seen his fights when his name comes up? Did you know anything about him?
Yeah, no, I didn't know much about him. Um, yeah, I had to do my homework on him the last few days. I've been studying him, watching his fights, me and my team. So I wasn't real familiar with him, but I am now. He's a tough guy, man. Um, he's not in the rankings, hasn't been in the UFC very long, but I've seen what he's been doing. He has a lot of pop in his punches, has a lot of stoppages. He's one of those guys. He'll take one to give one. So, this guy is younger. He's hungry. Wants to take my spot. and I'm in a bit of a crossroads myself, right? But that's not what I'm focused on. I'm just focused on getting my W.
That's awesome. I was going to ask you about that, right? Because Nassourdine Imavov is another one of these guys, right? He's kind of on the rise up, and you took the fight with him, and you know exactly what's trying to go there. He's trying to take your spot. So then you get this other guy, Dricus Du Plessis. It's another guy that is trying to take your spot. And I just wondered, was there any part of you that's like, no, man, I'm Kelvin Gastelum. Like, I've paid my dues. I've been in fights of the years. I don't need to be risking my spot against these guys. Is there any part that thinks, no, they don't deserve to fight me?
There's a little bit of that, but at the same time, it's like at this point, it doesn't matter. I'm so well prepared. It doesn't matter who steps in there. I just want to be able to fight April 9th. It's what's been in my mind for freaking 12 weeks now. So that's what I had in my mind. That's what I'm keeping in my mind, and that's what I'm gonna get.
That's awesome. How much game planning can you really do? I mean, do you try to craft a custom series of techniques and game plan, or do you just go, well, we got a week, we're kind of already doing what we do? I mean, how much can you do in a week?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a firm believer that if you can make some real adjustments if you put in the work. But to be honest, I was talking with the coaches, and not much. We're not changing too much. It's not a whole big difference. This guy's a striker, orthodox, just like Imavov was. Du Plessis might have a little bit more of a wrestling, grappling background, but at the same time, I think just the strategy for the most part doesn't change. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all good, man.
The whole setup here is falling apart.
Everything's changing on the fly, man. We're fixing the setup. We're fixing everything. So I guess, Kelvin, what does this mean? I mean, I know you said you don't want to focus on being in a crossroads, and I don't want you to, but what does this fight mean to you, man? You said you've got this amazing training camp. It's the first fight of this year. Now you're facing a guy you weren't preparing for. But what does this moment mean for you? What does this fight mean for you?
It feels like a restart in my career, John. Honestly, man, I'm making a lot of changes. I moved out here to Arizona. We're doing things differently out here. As you can see, Triple C's bringing in all these people wanting to work with him, and it's for a reason. There's a system that they've created, and we're following, and it's a pretty awesome results what we've had during this camp, and I'm excited. It feels like a restart in my career. It feels like a restart for me. I feel like I'm in a great place mentally, physically. It just feels like a whole new start for me.
That's awesome. So you completely moved out there, not just training camp. Are you living there in Arizona completely?
Yeah, I'm living out here.
Wow, that's awesome. I just talked to Mark Madsen earlier today, man, and he was saying the same thing. He was like, guys, this gym, this team, it's different. It's special. You're talking about a guy that was in the Olympics 3 times, and he's like,
Crazy.
I feel like he's saying I'm just scratching the surface of who I am as an athlete. So what is it, man? You've been around at this game. You've trained with the best. What is it that's making this so much different? And I told Mark, don't give Henry Cejudo too much credit. Don't let Triple C get too much credit.
Yeah, no, Henry is out here. He's out here giving us advice. He's like the Don out here, just walking around like the principal, just like, all right, what do you guys? And then he'll give him advice every now and then, But what we're doing out here differently, I think the way that I put it was just like, you go buy a suit, and it feels nice to go put on a nice suit. You feel nice. It looks good. But then you go buy a custom tailored suit, and that's a whole nother fit. That's a whole nother feeling, right? And that's kind of what it feels like out here. This is a custom tailored suit out here. You're getting a 5-star treatment as well. I mean, everything and anything that you might need, we have at our disposal. These people have resources, thankfully, to cover anything, medical, anything you might need, it is covered. So they're just doing things differently out here, John.
That's awesome, man. Well, Kelvin, I won't keep you too long because I know you're busy. You got a lot going on. I appreciate you still keeping this interview. I guess I'll ask you, ideally, I mean, you don't want to look past this fight. Obviously, you're happy that it's still coming together. But that scenario of fighting in Arizona, Does that appeal to you? I mean, would you possibly consider turning around that fast? Or hell no?
About 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks. I didn't consider it. No, I did not consider it before. But I would love to fight in Arizona. I mean, I think we would sell the place out. My whole city would be there. We would tear the roof off the place, I think, and yeah, it would be fun. That's why I was thinking, kind of settling on that, on fighting in May. But and that's a great card as well. Gaethje and Oliveira and dang it, I forgot. I just remember being blown away by the card.
It's loaded. It's loaded. Well, maybe you get in there in Florida and throw one punch and get out, and then you can go fight again in 4 weeks.
It's not good, baby. Yeah.
I love it. All right, Kelvin, I'll let you get back to it, man. I know you got a lot going on. Happy for you that you're still fighting and looking forward to seeing you throw down like you always do in Florida, my man.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure, John. Thank you.